Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com and MikeKollin.com. Okay, so I want to start this out with I have some good news, something that's made me happier than I've been probably over a year. In fact, definitely since last year, October. I think it's the music, but I'm sounding a lot more mellow than I feel inside. I'm really excited. I'm really happy about this. Okay, so here's the news. I'm having surgery about a week to 2 weeks from now. Now, the reason why that's good news is because I've got a piece of metal in my shoulder holding it together so the collarbone can heal. It's not just the one that goes across the collarbone that has some screws in it, but then they have a piece of metal that goes underneath the bone. I don't know. It's not the collarbone. Apparently, it's underneath that. He just explained it today, and it goes back inside the joint. And man, it hurts. I can't reach out. I can't move my arm. I finally got used to just dealing with life using my left hand. But so here's the reason why I'm happy, because normally they make you wait minimum 90 days and then X-ray it and see if it's ready, and up to 6 months. And I'm like, there is no way I'm going to wait another month. Now here's the deal. It hasn't even been 2 months. So they x-rayed it and he said the x-rays look good. And so I did some energy healing on my shoulder. In fact, I did 3 sessions on my shoulder very recently because I wanted to make sure that this was going to be healed. The doctor looked at it actually like, yep, we're going to go ahead with it, because I just begged him. I'm like, I forget what he said. He asked me some question I don't even think I answered. I said, I think it's better that we do this sooner than later. He kind of, what? And I'm grinning because I'm like, honestly, I really, really want this out. I know you get a lot of people probably asking you to do that. And he goes, no. He goes, actually, I think yours is going to be okay. So he showed me the x-rays. So we just took x-rays today. And he showed me the x-rays. He goes, look compared to after the surgery when we x-rayed it, and then look at it now. And it was definitely healed, at least visually from the x-ray. Like, you could tell it was a lot more solid. Now here's the funny thing. I'm just finding my groove again. Now I've had 2 accidents since last year, October. I've had 2 surgeries, and they really throw me off because of the medication. Really, it's the medication. I was going to say the pain, but it's really not the pain. It's just the medication, and you have to take the pain pills for so long, and then it takes weeks, even a month, I think, to wear off, really. And I'm just now opening up. So I'm feeling good, and I'm going to have to go back through the surgery. I'm going to have to take pain pills, so you're going to lose me again. I'm going to be things aren't going to click like they did for a while. But I believe that surgery is going to be a lot easier on my body to recover a lot faster. So I'm really looking forward to all this. Okay, so I'm going to say something before the short message of what this video is about. So here's what I noticed. I laid down last night, and I told you about how this moon, the energies, it's a pulling energy, and like energy is going up, and it's about letting go of the old ways, right? Your old beliefs, your old strategies, your old patterns, like even that unconscious internal dialogue where your brother said, oh, you're never going to be successful. Oh, why don't you just give up? Like any of that negative stuff, right? So I laid down and I really just kind of let go and I grounded myself. I brought my awareness inside, and within 3 to 5 minutes, my solar plexus completely expanded wide open, and so did my heart. It was as if I could breathe through my solar plexus for the first time in a long, long time. So we're still in the energy of the strawberry moon. It doesn't just go away. It's going to stay around for a couple of days. So I really recommend that you put some time aside and just meditate, or just like really lay down and just completely let go. Now, if you do it right, you will literally feel an expansion happen all by itself. You don't do it. You completely let go of everything. You allow everything to do its own thing and just completely surrender. Now, when I work with you to help you do grounding techniques, I will use my energy to guide your energy to show your energy how to do this. When it expands on its own, you're like, whoa, like, what is that? Like, it's the most amazing feeling in the world. So here's the deal. I'm still there right now. I can hear it in my voice. I can feel it in my body right now. So I did it last night, completely expanded. I'm just walking around this open, smooth, expanded energy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a wonderful feeling. So I want to believe that the moon and the strawberry, the energy that we're doing right now, it has something to do with it also to make it, because it came to me really easy this time. And here's the deal. I'm like super jazzed, excited about the news about surgery happening way sooner than it should have been. So I'm stoked. So let's get on the video. This is we'll call this part 3. This is really what the video is about. Okay, I tried to find the person that I found this on Facebook, but I didn't save her. Usually I'll save their video, whatever. I can't find it. So if I find it, I'll let you know. And I don't know if she created this or if she got it from someone else, but just follow along with an open mind. Okay, just be relaxed. So the first one says, here's what she says. Witches call it magic. Religious people call it prayer. Spiritual people call it manifestation. Atheists call it the placebo effect. Scientists call it quantum physics. Everyone argues over what it should be called, but no one is denying its existence. Your thoughts control your reality. Sorry if you heard a little scream, a little kid in the background goofing around, he screamed. Now, I've had some life experiences that will explain why everyone's looking at it from a different perspective, okay? So here's one of the first things I learned. I'm going to go through these ones, not the first thing, but this is one of the things that made me open up to go, no kidding. So in NLP, they teach you a communication model called the Predicate system. Humans communicate unconsciously through 4 unconscious languages. There's the visual language. There's the auditory language, so point to the eyes, visual, ears, auditory. The kinesthetic language, which is your body, when you say words like, I get it, I feel it, I get a good feeling about this guy. Then there's the auditory digital. So the visual people say, I see, I'm pointing to my eye, I see what you mean. Look at me when I talk to you. I can picture that. Okay, it's all visual words, which we call predicates, okay? So visual words, the visual language. Then you have the auditory language, the auditory predicate system. I hear, now I'm pointing to my ear, and I'm going to point to my mouth. I hear what you're saying. Hear and say are auditory predicates. Tell me, talk to me. That sounds right. That rings a bell. Those are all auditory words or phrases. Now, kinesthetic people will say, I get what you're saying. You're like, you get? What do you mean you get? It's like they're grabbing it. You know, I can grab. They'll literally say, I can grab a hold of that idea or that concept. They say, you know, I've got a strong feeling about this person. I've got a bad feeling about this person. I've got a good feeling. So they use the words touch, feel, like, hey, that guy rubs me wrong. Rub, like you're touching their leg and rubbing them. That guy rubs me wrong. So they talk in the kinesthetic language. Then there's the auditory digital language. That's when you're in the computer thinking part of your brain. So any computer word like analytical, digital, logical, that they love to use the word, that makes sense. That's logical. Let me think about it. Okay? So there's a whole list of words for all these. So here's what I realized. And it's because they taught this to us. So a lot of times, let's say you got 2 business people, they want to do a deal together and they write the contract up. But what happens is, number one, they agree on all 10 points. Let's say there's 10 points here they got to agree on to sign the contract. And they do. But because they're speaking 2 different predicates, they don't actually hear or understand each other or see each other's point. Okay? So if someone goes, take a look at the contract here. Take a look at the agreement. And the guy's like, take a look. You mean, like, what do you mean? You mean like, look, but I want to hear what you're saying. Hear, say, that's auditory, right? And so what would happen is, because they're speaking 2 different predicates, the entire deal will go down the tubes. And yet they're agreeing on every single point. They both want the same thing, but because one person's using the visual predicate system, the other one's using the auditory, they'll sit there and say, well, like, dude, you're not making any sense. That doesn't, like, I don't see what you mean. I don't hear what you're saying. Talk to me. They're saying the same thing, but they're using a different system, a different language system, i.e. visual, auditory, kinesthetic, auditory, digital, thus the predicate system. So they're just saying it in a different way, yet they're actually agreeing on the same thing, yet they're going to argue and fight to death because well, you're not using my words. And here's the deal. I used to use the kinesthetic language a lot. I still do. I really do. Even the word I do, that's a physical word. And people that are auditory digital get really upset. Like, oh, you people, I can't stand that language. I actually had an older guy who's a professor at a university just like yell at me. And I'm like, and I was sitting there at a restaurant minding my own business up at the bar. It's like a bar and grill place. It wasn't like a bar, but it's like a restaurant. And he sat down next to me for some reason. I'm thinking, like, out of all the chairs, and he just started arguing. Oh, I can't stand it when people use those words and talk like that. And I remember I literally grabbed my food. I got up and went to the other side. But it hurt my feelings, but it made me just go, man, just because I used the kinesthetic language, he jumped all over it. The number one reason men and women get divorced is we're speaking a different predicate system, and it is so easy to learn. Let's say, the husband's saying like, I can't even talk to you, auditory talk. I don't even hear what you're saying anymore. And she's like, I just don't see how this is going to work. So she's visual, see, he's auditory talk and say and all that stuff. And because of it, they end up getting divorced unless someone like me comes along and says, hey, here's what's going on. Let me show you how to do this. It's really simple. Then I learned about the deep love strategy where some people are visual. They need to see it like a little cute, like smiley face written on a piece of paper with, maybe like I love you underneath it and some little stars or something. Just some cute little thing that they can see. Could be a rose. Now, a lot of people think, oh, those are the greedy people. They need you to spend a lot of money. No. If someone's truly visual deep love strategy, you can push their love button simply by writing something on a torn piece of paper. Like I love you, cutie, you write it down. If they can see it, it triggers their love button. And the next one is, auditory. Okay, those are the people that need to hear it. If you don't say I love you, cutie pie, sweetie, or those cute little nicknames you have for each other, no matter what you do, you could buy them a mansion. They're going to look at you like you can't, you're trying to buy my love, and they'll get all pissed off because they have to hear it because you're pushing a button that doesn't connect to their love. If you push the auditory button, now you're pushing their love button. And again, you'll watch men and women fight to death over this one little simple thing. This person is trying to love them in the way that they're loved, not the way that that person's loved, and vice versa. Now I'm leading up to something here, so hold on, I'm putting some pieces together. So I'm a very kinesthetic person. I need to be hugged. I need to have my hand held and, like lean up against me, put your hand on my knee if we're at the movies or something. There has to be a physical connection. Otherwise, I just think like, wow, you just don't even want to be with me, huh? Like, why did you even come over? I tend to date women, I don't know why, whose love strategy is visual. So the other problem is I'm always trying to hug them, and after a couple of weeks or months, they just push me like, is that it? Why won't you love me? I'm like, I am loving you. I go to hug them again. They boom, open palms, shove me away. Do you see where the problem is? They're thinking like you don't even care about me, and that's what happens to a lot of men and women. You're just like, God, no matter what I do, you just refuse to love me. And you're like, what are you talking about? I am loving you. So then I started studying energy healing. And I started studying originally with Reiki. I got my level 1 certification, and I kind of moved on from there. And then I got involved in NLP, and then I went to this big 5-week training in Hawaii. They included, I think it was I don't remember how many days training, 3-day training or whatever. Got a certification of like 12 hours or something like that. I forget how many hours we had. And I was like, well, that's really interesting because the way Reiki would do it is they'd use these techniques, but Huna uses these techniques for the same thing. I thought, oh, well, whatever. And then I studied Pranic healing. That's the one that I really studied for months and months and months. That's the one that I really got involved with, okay? But again, I only got level 1 certification in that, but I kept going back for more learnings and teachings and more experiences, like healings on myself and working with other people. And I really took to it because it's more of a physical thing. Again, I'm a very kinesthetic person, so I really like it because it's very kinesthetic. You do a lot of sweeping hand motions, etc. So it works for me. One night I was doing a healing session. Now, what I like to do, I live near the bay, so I like to find a private place at nighttime, preferably when the moon is out, but not always. and I get by a body of water, and bam, no matter what I'm working on, they're gonna heal. I mean, I don't have to go to the water, but it really seems to have like a magnetic pull for me. It really works for me. So I was doing some energy healing techniques for someone on their energy body, and I realized like that is so weird, because these techniques I'm using are completely different than what you would do in Huna or Reiki. And it's for the same thing. Now, during our 5-week training, and then we went to a training before that training too, so this wasn't the only one, but we've invested thousands of dollars. I mean, back then, I think at this point we'd invested probably $8,000 or $9,000 in the trainings at this point, something like that, maybe $7,000, and plus the hotel fees and airfare and food and all that stuff. And it was about the 4th week, maybe in the 5th week of the master practitioner, and Dr. Tad James goes, "Look, I'm going to tell you something. It might actually upset you. And I also want you to know, right now, I'm going to turn you into a very, very powerful healer." And you think I'm joking, but I'm not. Listen to what I'm about to say. This changed everything for me. So he said, "Look, I know you guys have spent thousands and thousands of dollars. You've been training for months on end. Some of you all the way back to last year from those trainings. And now we're taking a 5-week training now, and you have learned literally probably 100 techniques. You've learned all these things, different ways of doing things, energy healing, NLP, Erickson hypnosis, timeline therapy." He goes, "I've got to tell you something that's going to probably shock you. I know you've learned a lot of techniques." He goes, "But the techniques actually don't heal anyone. They don't heal people." And we're like, "What? Like, what the hell?" He goes, "There's one thing and one thing only that heals people. It's your intention." He said, "Your intention is what is truly healing people, because your intention sends the energy. The right energy in the right way. It sends the right message energetically." So there I am, literally right off the bay, right 10, 15 feet, not even 15 feet from the water, 10 feet from the water. And I'm working on this client, and I'm like thinking like, wow, it's so funny, because if I did this energy healing, they would do this. If I did this one, they would do that. But I'm over here doing pranic healing. And this is a completely different way of healing, some different techniques for the same thing. And that's when it dawned on me. It's not the techniques. It's the intention. So here's one thing I realized in that moment. The reason why I like pranic healing so much is because we do sweeping motions. There's some pre-intro techniques to get us into the right state. And whenever I start doing this stuff, I get into this deep zone where I will figure stuff out that I don't know how I figured out. And I've even had clients, I've got some testimonials on my website page where I can't think of her name right now, but I've talked about it on this channel quite a bit. She was the one that had a broken L3 and L5 in her back. In her spine, and she had said, I never even told him about, she had pain in her shoulders and her eyes. She had really, really super dry eyes, and she never even mentioned it. And I said, hey, I did some work on your shoulders and I did some work on your eyes. And it turns out she was having severe problem with her shoulders and also her eyes. Completely healed them too. Now here's the thing. My intention took me inside the space of the energy, and that's what allowed me to draw this stuff out. Because a lot of times when I work with people, I'll work on something that they never mentioned or even thought of that they needed to work on. So all I'm saying is this, it dawned on me, the techniques that I'm using have nothing to do with it other than getting you in the zone and getting your intention out there. And that's what these techniques do for me. So my point when I was talking about working on that lady's shoulders and her eyes, I was using techniques that I've never even heard of, never even seen before. A lot of times when I work with people, I'll just know like, wow, this is interesting. So that's going to be hurtful. So that's got to be taken out somehow. And then I'll do something to pull it out, to shift it, to send energy in. And boom, they're healed. Your intentions. Now here's another thing. I teach men when they want to approach women. I go, it really has to do with your intention. Is your intention uptight and nervous and stressed? And, oh, is she going to get mad at me? Well, yeah, with that intention, absolutely. Versus, I wonder who this person is. I wonder, what she's like, if she has good energy or not, and etc. And bringing this really good energy into the space. That intention will create a better environment and a better experience. Now, there was a physical therapist in Napa called Glenn Hughes, Dr. Glenn Hughes. He was a great physical therapist, and I mean phenomenal. Luckily, we had him in high school football, and college. So whenever I got injured, they'd send me to him because he was our high school physical therapist. The school paid for him. And I noticed I would heal really quickly. And when I got older and I went to college, went to Chico State and wrestled there, and then other sports, I got injuries and they do the physical therapy. And I noticed I didn't heal as fast. It didn't heal as well. And then I had to go back to Glenn Hughes after I had my shoulder surgery. I had shoulder surgery on the same shoulder way back then, like way back in the 90s. And I went to him and it was really, really bad. Like this was just really painful and it was a long journey. And once again, he healed me. It was faster. It was quicker. It was better. It's like, man, the pain's completely gone. Now, I had just completed my energy healing, my Reiki level 1 certificate, and I had known enough to where I was like, oh, Glenn Hughes is doing energy healing without even realizing what he's doing. Because he probably never even heard of it before. He was just this, square in the box as a person. But he loved physical therapy. He loved to heal people. He loved to help people to heal up. His intentions created an energy field that began to heal people on a much better level. And everyone spoke very highly and very well of Dr. Glenn Hughes. So here's the deal. Because I got to work with different physical therapists over the years, it became really obvious the people that loved their work with their passion, the energy created a better dynamic because that was their intention. Intention creates, intention heals. Okay, now let's listen to this. So this is something I learned a long time ago. So when I was a kid, my dad sent me this little tiki thing. It was blessed by Uncle George Naopi, the big kahuna, so he was allowed to send it from Hawaii. And it was a necklace, and it was kind of like from top to bottom, about 1.5 inches wide and about 4 or 5 inches long. It was made out of lava. And the name, it was Miki, and that's my name in Hawaii. So here's the deal. So my name in English is Mike. My name in Hawaii is Makai. And in Spanish, my name is Miguel. So which one is right? The reason why I ask this is because you get these people arguing about, Yeshua and Yahweh and Jesus and all these different names, thinking, oh, you were tricked. That was a trick of the whatever back in the old days, and his name's not Jesus, it's Yeshua or it's Yahweh or it's, whatever. And, well, my name is Makai. It's also Mike or Michael. It's also Miguel. So it's a different language. So in the different language, they pronounce things differently, and that's okay. And that's all it is. No more, no less. So then you got the people talking about how God is one. Then people say, well, there's the Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, which I relate to the male brain, which is the Father, and then the right brain is the spiritual brain, the Holy Ghost, and then the lower reptilian brain is the Son. So the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Now here's the deal. I don't care if you believe it or not. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. Like, oh, this is the way it is, and you're wrong, and you're going to go to hell because you don't believe what I believe. It's not a matter of believing. It's a matter of just noticing, like, well, that's very interesting, because the male brain is considered the masculine, the female brain is considered the feminine, and the lower reptilian brain is considered the child. It's your childlike way of being without growing up. It's also the brain that we first use when we're born up until we're probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But we begin to develop our other brains as we get older. So I don't look at things in terms of right or wrong. I look in terms of, well, how can I understand this? How can I add this to my repertoire? How can this help me to understand things on a deeper level versus, oh, it's right or it's wrong. It's either. See, those people are stuck in a box and they can't see. Like Jesus says, they have eyes, yet they cannot see. They have ears, yet they cannot hear. So let me just read this off. So it says the world is, this is me. I wrote this morning. I was really excited about it. The world is finally coming out of the either or mentality, the right or wrong mentality, the my way or the highway mentality. Notice the word or, it's this or that. It causes conflict between A and B. You know, Tom Cruise versus, I don't know, some other actor, right? Or some boxer versus another actor. That's what the word or does. So we are opening up to the world of opening up to options and possibilities. You can and I can versus either you or me. It's you can, I can, we can. Okay? Life is on the verge of shifting right now. I really believe today, November 30th, is a pivotal day for us. I believe right now it's happening. The majority of people are finally opening up to other possibilities. It's about options and possibilities. God's name, Yahweh, God, Yehor, Yeshua, they're all right. It's your intention. Your intention. You already are a healer and a manifester. All it is your intention. Even when you read a book, your intention that you put into the book is what you get out of it. So, you notice my 2 books for women, Why Men Just Don't Get It, and Every Woman's Battle, The Need for Love and Emotional Fulfillment. Men or women can buy those books. Those are on the differences in men and women, dating, relationships, especially the part on communication. I go quite in depth on what's different between how men and women communicate and why does this affect us so much? Why do we get hurt? Why do we fight? Why do we argue? Men, if you want to learn more, buy my book Cracked Female Code at crackedfemalecode.com. By the way, that's the same website. It leads you to MikeKollin.com. So ladies, buy your books. Men, buy your books. Okay, that's it for this video. Remember, go to MikeKollin.com, buy your perspective books, and also click subscribe, click the like button, go and make a comment. And as always, if you want, you can go ahead and make a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box. Alright guys, God bless you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.